It's Wednesday, February 13th, 2019, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. We begin with news that the Mia Mottley-led government is expecting a deficit of just over $32 million for the 2019-2020 financial year. In the estimates laid in Parliament Tuesday night, in the absence of the Prime Minister, who is on government business overseas, the 8-month-old administration is predicting it would spend some $3.181 billion and rake in a little less in revenue. Barbados Today's Marlon Madden has the details.
This time around, the estimates is a stark contrast to what the then Democratic Labour Party administration outlined for its 2018-2019 fiscal year, when a massive deficit of $1.4 billion was projected. The highly anticipated estimates comes as the country receives a passing grade from the International Monetary Fund for the first 6 months of the Barbados Economic Recovery and Transformation Program, or BERT program as it's called, which was implemented in June last year with the introduction of revenue-raising measures. Phases 2 and 3 of that program includes the retrenchment, retooling, and retraining of civil servants, the merger of some government departments and agencies, and the modernization of all government processes. The 714-page document, which includes minor changes, showed that government is expecting majority of its income to come from tax revenues in the amount of $2.89 billion. Among its revenue intake, government is expecting to earn $1.48 billion from goods and services, $1 billion from taxes on income and profits, $216.5 million from taxes on international trade, and $186.7 million from taxes on property. The majority of its spending will go towards the general public service in the order of $1.03 billion, while capital expenditure is expected to be in the region of $199.9 million. Marlon Madden.
Meantime, Member of Parliament for the city, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, informed Parliament that debate on the estimates would begin next Monday.
Given the recent amendment to the standing orders, that the appropriations bill upon first reading on Monday will stand referred to the on Monday will stand referred to the Standing Finance Committee when the House resumes on Monday, and that the House will be dissolved immediately into committee for consideration of this bill. That consideration will continue throughout Monday, Tuesday, and on Friday. Further consideration, the dates will be given on Friday next week.
In other news, Barbadians appeared to be buying slightly less sugary drinks than they did back in 2015, and it's been linked to the implementation of the 10% tax on sugar-sweetened beverages that same year. However, researchers are saying that a reduction that was recorded in the 12 months after the tax took effect is still not significant enough. The sale of sugary drinks declined 4.3%, and evidence suggests that Barbadians began purchasing cheaper sugary drinks and untaxed products in response to the tax. Residents also appear to be buying more water, with the sale of the bottled product increasing 7.5%. The study, which is published in an international journal, is co-authored by numerous academics, some of whom are from the KFL campus of the University of the West Indies. One of this country's international allies has issued a caution as Barbados and other regional states brainstorm on ways of grabbing more of the global tourism pie. European Union Representative Dr. Stephen Boyce says any investment should not be at the expense of environmental sustainability or compromise resilience. The representative of the EU delegation to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean was speaking within the context of the continued dangers posed by climate change.
For the region, for the industry within the region to remain globally competitive, it is necessary to invest in infrastructure, improve visitor experience, expand product and service offerings, and increase competitiveness, including price competitiveness. It is similarly paramount not to do so at the expense of environmental sustainability or compromise resilience.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from our regional neighbors, a University of Guyana student has been remanded to prison in connection with a bomb threat to the institution. We get the details from Capital News.
The 25-year-old Cummins Lodge, Georgetown woman, who is a student of the University of Guyana, was charged with improper use of public telecommunication system contrary to Section 33(1)(b) of the Telecommunication Act, Chapter 4702. It is alleged that Jaffarali used her telecommunication device system to cause needless anxiety to the staff and students of the University of Guyana, knowing it was false. That incident reportedly took place last Tuesday and resulted in the suspension of classes at the institution. In the court today, Jaffarali pleaded not guilty to the offense. Police prosecutor objected to bail and noted that the investigation in the matter is not yet completed. Her lawyer, Lachmi Rahamat, told the court that there is no evidence to show that her client made the threats. She added that her client was kept for more than 72 hours in the lockups and the police seized her electronic devices after they took her into custody. Jaffarali will make her next court appearance on February 18th at the Spiranda Magistrates Court, where the case has been transferred.
On the international scene, France has been hit by a series of anti-Semitic acts and attacks that have raised fears of a new wave of anti-Jewish violence in the country that is home to Europe's biggest Jewish population. Such attacks surged 74% last year, as we hear in this France 24 report.
This is the face of anti-Semitism. This tree, located in a Paris suburb, was planted in memory of Ilan Halimi, a 23-year-old Jewish man who was tortured to death in 2006 because of his religion. The tree was chopped down on Monday, causing shock and uproar across France.
On behalf of the government, on behalf of the president, on behalf of France, we weep. We weep tonight over the memory of Ilan Halimi, just like we wept 14 years ago.
The chopping of Ilan Halimi's memorial tree is the latest in a string of anti-Semitic acts in recent days. Over the weekend, paintings of former French minister and Holocaust survivor Simone Veil were defaced with Nazi swastikas in Paris's 13th arrondissement. The act once again attracted strong condemnation by the government, with France's interior minister vowing to punish those behind the defacing. And on Saturday morning, employees arriving for their shift at a bagel shop discovered this shocking graffiti, Juden, or Jews in German. Graffiti which reminded Paris of some of its darkest hours under Nazi occupation.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay and supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.